y'all come on in and let's have us another visit here on The Humble Show. I am Grant Fletcher, and I'm being joined, as always, by my co-hosts Moonbeam Hallows and Brandon Cox, and here they are. If you're watching us on YouTube on screen now, how are we, everybody?
Hey, doing cool.
Right before like the audio kicked in on this episode, I was going like, I was making like doing like this kind of voice like this. And it reminded me a long time ago, a long time ago. I think it was like 9 years ago, actually. It was recently, like the anniversary of it passed. My wife and I went to Seattle to visit one of our best friends who was living there at the time. And we went to the first Starbucks store ever.
Yeah.
By the way, don't go to the first Starbucks store.
Absolutely not.
It's like, for one thing, whatever. It's also like tiny and it's crowded and it's nothing special. But
there's so many other good places to go at that market. Like there's no reason.
Yeah. That's well, we did go to a lot of really good places. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But that market area, what's that?
I said I bet it takes the app though, and they probably got.
Oh, they might do it now, but that wasn't really much of a thing back then. But no, yeah. So that market, like Brandon had mentioned a little bit a second ago, is like this. Like pigs are a big thing. Like as part of like the like theme and look and feel, they have pigs all over the place.
Yeah.
So when you go into the Starbucks, over the door, they have a pig made out of coffee beans. And so we're in there waiting, and again, it's crowded. So I have no idea of like seeing who it is that said this or whatever. I just hear this like disembodied voice say, "Talk, look at the pug made of coffee beans." And so for the last 9 years, every now and then I bust that one out. And Brittany's like, "I swear to God, if you don't stop saying that."
It reminds me of the bit that Patton Oswalt does about like him going to see the film Three Kings, and like the guy in front of him is like, "Well, 1, 2, 3, there's 3 kings. Here we go."
Like there are the titular kings.
And he's just talking about like he does not know how these people breathe. Just like they've got to say everything that they see.
That was like in in the movie theater, like the auditorium, I guess. Is
yes.
Yeah. I remember that kind of reminds me. We're all over the place immediately, but one time, or actually, whenever the Star Wars Clone Wars, the animated movie, the one that kicked off the series, whenever that one came out in the theaters,
yeah,
I went to see it with our friend Corey, who was on a couple episodes ago.
Hooray!
And another friend of ours, Nick, and we're in the theater, and just to kind of give you an idea what was out around then, the movie opens and you see like the opening, it says "Long ago in a galaxy far away" on the screen. And I said, "This isn't Mamma Mia." And like the only people in the auditorium that laughed were us and the guy sitting right in front of us.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But yeah, that was a new movie at the time, and I don't know. It was just one of those weird, funny moments, I guess. But anyway.
Can I
sneak in?
Yeah, it'd have been there. Yeah.
Can I sneak in one more off-topic thing before we get on topic?
I feel like you should.
So Moonbeam has already heard this, but I heard something yesterday that just stopped me dead in my tracks. Like, you know how like you feel like you've heard everything and like, you know, there's not much that the world can throw at you?
Yeah.
Someone said the phrase or the idiom "main most chicken post" yesterday. He's like, "Oh, that's your main most chicken post, right?" And I had never in my life heard this.
That's new.
I've never heard it either. I just so we're clear, I never heard this either, and I'm country as hell.
Yeah.
Right. Well, see, here's the thing. The guy that said this knows you, of course. And whenever I told him, like, "Hey, she had never heard this before," it's like, "Well, of course not her." That was his word.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
That means we don't hang out in the same circles.
I guess.
So, like, and I text like so the demographics in this room, half the room knew this phrase. One person was a 44-year-old dude from Philadelphia. Another was a 44-year-old woman from Washington State. And then another
What?
was a 54-year-old woman from Philadelphia. Everybody else in the room and like everybody else that I asked via text and everybody that I asked like outside of that room in the office were like, what the hell are you talking about?
You got to be above the age of 43 to know it.
No, like, dude,
No, I'm 44, homie.
I asked people.
You got to be above the age of 44 and a half.
So I asked people like in their like mid to late 60s that are from this area. They're like, hey, have you ever heard of this phrase? And they're like, did you just make that up?
So tell us what it means, Brandon.
Yeah.
Main most chicken post is like a woman's like main dude or like boyfriend. Main most chicken post.
I see.
I
Okay. I understand.
I don't understand. I'm glad that you do.
I don't understand.
I don't understand like where the phrase came from. I understand what it means now that you like told me what it means. Like it lands, I guess. But yeah, that's about it.
I get the main. I get like main squeeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the chicken post, yeah.
Not so much.
No.
Not so much. That's all right. Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever.
A lot of people don't know a lot of these country things. Like when somebody says the devil's beating his old lady, means that it's raining and sunshine.
Right. Here's the thing. Yeah, that's a very southerny thing.
Here's the thing about
I think it is.
The old lady though, like you can go on Google and search that phrase and it'll be explained to you. I Googled
you couldn't find it?
most chicken post with and without quotes, zero results.
Wow. That's impressive. That means it's really like. Yeah, I mean, that means it's really folksy. If Google doesn't know what it is, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Y'all let us know, like, just on our socials or on the on the comments on YouTube here, like, what's a phrase that you think is like a your favorite like folksy kind of phrase like that? I want to know. I want to hear what everybody thinks.
Absolutely.
You ever heard of somebody having the sugar?
Having the sugar. I mean, I know, like, the old, like, oh, give me some sugar. Like, I know what that is, but
is this like diabetes?
Diabetes. Yeah, it means they've got diabetes.
Oh, you know what? Yes, you're right. I have heard that before. It's not like a thing that I use, or I know a lot of people that say it. But I have heard people say, oh, yeah, you got the sugar. Yeah, I have heard that before. Yeah. It's not a common thing. It's not common around Baton Rouge. I'll tell you that much right now. Like, Baton Rouge, as much of a small town as it is, it's definitely not, it's not out in the sticks either. I mean, I say small town. It's a metropolitan area.
I mean, it's Baton Rouge. It's in songs and shit.
It's in songs. Yeah, Garth Brooks has the one about it. That's true.
Baton Rouge. Yeah, there's several.
Can't deny it.
Songs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a ton of songs about Neshoba County.
No.
There should be.
Are they? And if there are, they're probably not all that flattering.
No. I know, right?
No.
Oh.
I mean, whatever.
My goodness.
Neshoba County rules. Unless you go on the Democrat page, which is our local paper. They have a Facebook page, and they posted.
Any local newspaper or like news outlet. If you look
is it a cluster?
Yeah, that's the same over here.
Board?
Oh yeah, same over here.
Yeah, anytime like locals want to get together and talk about local stuff, it's like constant negativity. Like they're putting in a roundabout. And everybody's lost their mind.
People in the South hate roundabouts. All right, that's another thing that they hate in the South are roundabouts.
They don't feel like saving gas.
No.
Me and Brandon are. I think we're neck and neck for the most liked comments.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Sounds about right. The people of Neshoba County weren't ready for y'all's wit. You ever go on Nextdoor? You ever get on the Nextdoor app or on the Nextdoor page or whatever?
No, I don't guess I know what that is.
I think I have it, and it's just like a bunch of like, hey guys, I'm here.
It's like a neighborhood message board. There's usually a lot of people complaining on it, but for some reason in my area, there's a lot of like some guy walking around like, oh, look at all these birds I saw on my walk today, and he just posts pictures of birds, and I'm like, you know what?
I
I'm
like
okay
that
with
a
that.
lot.
That's a little wholesome, right?
I like that a
We got a
lot.
lot of trees around where I'm at, which is
Yeah.
both good and bad whenever you live in Hurricane Alley. But
Yeah.
you live with what you got to live with.
That's right.
So,
what you drinking, Grant?
just some water. Just some water. You want to see? This is a cup I got in Disneyland last year. I don't know. Hold on, let me put it on screen. And I got it from the Pizza Planet. So it has the little, the aliens from
right
Pizza Planet on it. And
wow.
it's pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, the little green guys from Toy Story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we had this I was thinking the other day, and I mentioned this to y'all the other day, that I wanted to talk about, performers, artists, musicians, actors, whatever, who, might have made their money or had their success when they were younger. And then we're like, all right, cool, I'm done, and peaced out. Or they were like, you know what? Now I'm just going to get weird with it.
Yeah.
And because I was having this conversation with my wife, because we were in the car and we had some music on. It was just playing some stuff on shuffle. And it started playing a song by the band Fun, if y'all remember them.
I remember Fun.
F-U-N,
yeah.
period.
Are you about to talk about the format?
Well, we can mention the format because the singer of that band, I can't remember his name right now. He was in a band called The Format for a while, which was a lot like Fun, just without as good of production value, but still, pretty decent music, I thought. But like Fun, they put out their one album and they were gone. And I was like, it's like Fun seemed to come around towards the end of that era where you could have a hit that charts pretty well and you're good. You know what I mean? Like, you may not be rich for the rest of your life, but you're not going to starve either, And they had probably a good, 3 songs on that album that charted, because you have the songs that chart, right? You sell the albums, you get the streams, you tour in support of it, you go on all the late night shows, and then eventually you can play, festivals in the casino circuit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good. And it's almost like, and I never looked into it or whatever, but it's almost like they were like, oh, yeah, we did it. We're done. Bye, everybody. And now it's just like that guy, the singer, he just collabs with people whenever he feels like doing it and just kind of does whatever. It's like he does whatever he feels like doing.
What's that? Is he on that song Sober Up with Rivers Como?
I don't know.
Sounds like it. Sounds like that guy. But I don't know. It's something I could Google. You know what I mean?
It sounds about right because Rivers Cuomo loves to collaborate with the young artists, the young hip artists, and it always it's always a mixed bag.
Yeah. I that reminds me of in Bridget Jones' Diaries, which is one of my favorite movies. I like anything with a Mr. Darcy. But anyway, one of her best friends is this guy that put out one song, and it was enough to get him laid throughout the 90s. People would come up to him and be like, "Hey, are you that guy that wrote that song?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, that was me. No plans to write anymore."
The guy we're talking about, his name is Nate Roos. I don't see him on the personnel for that song. The band was AJR.
Okay.
Anyway,
just AJR. It sounds like the same guy.
Yeah, I could see that.
You get a similar sound.
You know what else too? I was having this conversation with Corey the other day. I was like, I feel like Malcolm McDowell is kind of that guy too, who was successful young. And then I thought about it, and I was like, I think he really just always did whatever he felt like doing. So I don't know if that's a really good example.
Are we talking about the Clockwork Orange guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not like he's in a ton of stuff all the time, but yet he still pops up in things. And he's been in a lot of things that are just kind of weird and out there,
Yeah, I mean, I think he probably made his bed early.
Oh no, I think he did okay early on, but also I think he spent a lot of time just doing what he felt like doing. I don't know. What do y'all think? Did y'all have any thoughts on that? Did y'all have any ideas?
So I have two. One I know much less about, and I'm only going to mention briefly, and one that I know more about. But you had a whole lot of 80s era synth pop and new wave acts just burn out, just crash and burn by the end of the
Oh yeah,
decade.
there were so many of them.
Yeah, like Adam and the Ants and Dead or Alive. It's a countless amount. And old Gary Newman was kind of posed to be one of those. I mean, like I looked before we got on. I think from like 79 to 86 or 87, he released a new album every single year. And then like he kind of faltered for a bit. He got pretty bad by like 92 or 93. And then he basically said, "Hey, I'm done making the pop hits." Which, by the way, I mean, just to backtrack a little bit, Gary Newman, the My Car guy, the
Yeah,
Here in My
yeah,
Car.
here in my car. Yeah.
Yeah. So he decided to go full industrial rock, and I've never really listened to his industrial rock output, but from my understanding, it has been nothing but up from there. Like apparently his industrial rock career is as good as his initial like post-punk, new wave, synth pop sort of stuff.
Well, again, like that was that era. Like he had that song here in my car. Like, what else do you need, right?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, exactly. And yet he released an album every single year from like 79 to
It's all
86
gravy
or
after that.
87.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he very much went weird with it and reinvented his career.
I like that.
So, but I'm not too well versed in Gary Newman. He's a good boy,
Still,
but I don't know much about him.
Yeah.
still, you said you had another one.
I do. The one that I was really thinking of, and I mainly went with this act because I could have gone more, more strange and esoteric with it, because there are plenty of people who have gone from like pop to wackiness. I mean, I brought up Scott Walker a few episodes ago. I'm sure you
Mm-hmm.
remember. Um, and he is the epitome of that. But there was a little act much along the same, no, well, kind of along the same lines as fun as you were mentioning, in which you could come out with like a hit single or two and coast on that, and you were good. It was a little band. It is still a little band called MGMT.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
their 2008 album Oracular Spectacular had so many hits. Time to Pretend, Kids, Electric Feel.
Yeah,
Um, that are still to this day very timeless.
yeah.
And I don't know if this was said aloud. I don't know if this was said aloud in any interview to any fans or to their label, but somewhere along the way, it was either mentally or verbally said, "We're not going to be a radio hit band anymore." If you listen to their discography, it was a very conscious effort. They did not want to be the radio pop band anymore. And it's funny because they made it very, very clear before the album cycle even stopped. Um, right in the midst of their singles being released, I think this was released before the single "Kids" was released. They released a non-album single called "Metanoia," and it is like it's a 14-minute long single, and it just runs the gamut of like neo psychedelia and glam rock and progressive rock. It's a really, really great song, and it kind of painted the way of where they were going from there. You had the album Congratulations come out afterwards, and it just really nailed nailed it down that they were no longer going to be the cutesy little electronic neo psychedelic band. They were going to be serious artists from there on out.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that, because they could have ridden their laurels and just pumped out, and a lot of bands did emulate them and kind of fill that space.
Yeah.
But they decided to do their own thing, and more power to them, because a lot of that material is very underrated. Siberian Breaks from Congratulations is, I think, one of the best songs ever recorded.
Huh.
Yeah, that's funny you say that because that's the way of the artist. It's like the whole the best advice I ever got was don't chase the money. And as soon as you chase the money, like it stops. Well, number one, it stops being fun and it stifles creativity. And we see that all the time. Like if with our friend Brandon with Lee, he knows the recipe to make a hit song, and he could if he wanted to be on the pop charts tomorrow. He could.
Oh, he records those for fun and never
That's what I'm
releases
saying.
them.
Like but he does, and the same thing with my friend Steven Sarah. He's an amazingly talented musician, but he's an artist first. So he, oddly enough, doesn't give two shits about making something for the radio. Yeah. So I mean, I get that.
All I'm going to say is the public will probably never hear the song Ham and Eggs, and
that's a shame.
It's a shame.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame, Brandon.
Well, hey, look, maybe one day we'll put out that single and people will flock to the stores.
Maybe like just a snippet, just like give us like a 25 seconds. It's a long song. How long is that song?
It's longer than it seems because there's so much repetition of the chorus. But hey, that's what Miami Bass is all about.
Yeah, that's good. No, sorry, maybe. So, did you have one that you were throwing out or no?
Did we have a talk about having this planned?
Yes,
we did.
Did we? Okay, so here's the thing. The past couple of days, I have been not paying close attention to anything but my own issues.
The coffee shop.
And yes, and so I didn't get the memo. So it's something that was just a flash in the pan and then disappeared. Is that what we're looking for?
Well, not necessarily. Well, yeah, you could say that, but someone who like, either they disappeared or they were like big and then they were like, all right, now I'm just going to do whatever I feel like doing.
Yeah. Is
I'll
it better
give you
to
another
burn
example
out or to
while
fade
you
away?
think about it. The best, one of the more, I think, more prominent examples out there would be Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He went from Harry Potter to doing whatever TF he wanted to do. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, because he was only like 21, I think, when they finished the last Harry Potter movie, and now then he did like Swiss Army Man and
that was a weird movie.
Horns. Yeah, that was a weird one too. He did that show Miracle Workers. I didn't see.
He was in that play, and I saw a promo picture of it. He was next to a horse with his doink out.
Well, look, you can do that. You can do that
Going full hog in front of a horse.
I mean, in the same vein, you really could say Elijah Wood too. I mean, he was in a lot of things whenever he was really young, before Lord of the Rings. But after Lord of the Rings, he didn't really need to do anything else. So he did a show. They only did 2 seasons of it, but I really liked it, called Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And he's in Yellow Jackets now. He entered that series in the 2nd season, I think. He's really good in that show too.
Wasn't he in a show about a dog guy in a dog costume? Wilfred.
Wilfred. Yeah, I think. I think you're right.
In that?
I think that was him. I think that was a remake too. I believe
it was him-ish.
It
was.
It was him and Jason Gann. Let's see.
Was him?
He's mostly he's like Rob Riggle was in that. It looks like so. Yeah, I am aware of it. I never saw it, but yeah, that did run for a few seasons.
He was in a film. It was named after a Woody Guthrie song. I think it's "I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore." That was really good. I mainly watched it because you had the lead singer of the Jesus Lizard playing like the main antagonist, and
cool.
He's a pretty good actor. He looks old as hell, and I don't know if you guys know, but the Jesus Lizard just released their first track in like 30 years.
No, I did not know that.
Oh
I
yeah,
saw that come up on my Spotify shit you would like page.
What's that dude's name? David Yao.
I have no
I
idea.
think the vocalist's name is David. Yeah, that's a crazy man right there. He looks like my grandfather, and he is crazier than like 90% of vocalists put together these days.
Yeah, David Yow, spelled Y-O-W, so it's like
Yeah.
Yow. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good
That's
actor
true.
too.
Oh, I forgot to mention Elijah Wood is going to be, I think, the villain in The Toxic Avenger.
Oh yeah. So did that ever come out?
I don't know. Let's
I want to see the Peter Dinklage Toxic Avenger.
I'm trying to find, because there wasn't
is this
like
a Lloyd Kaufman thing? Like what's going on?
It's a remake
Is it
of
Trauma?
the Toxic Avenger, starring Peter Dinklage as the titular character.
Kevin Bacon's in it somewhere too.
Is it
Lloyd
a Trauma?
Kaufman's invited. He's invited, included. I think he's one of the writers.
Homie, is Trauma putting it out?
I don't believe
who's
so.
the actual
No,
production house?
It's Trauma adjacent.
Yeah.
Really?
And honestly, Lloyd Kaufman's credited as a writer, but sometimes like they'll credit the creator even if they're not on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet he was all up in it. Elijah Wood, wasn't he? He was like Yellow Bastard or something. And
he was a serial killer in Sin City. He wasn't. He wasn't that character, but he was a. He wore like the glasses. He was the like guy that was dismembering ladies.
He wasn't the yellow guy.
See, this says it came out last year, but I never saw anything but the teaser trailer.
Yeah, I think that it was released in like a limited capacity.
Maybe that was what it was.
I still want to see that Bob Odenkirk remake of The Room.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah.
That was like they just did like some festivals with it, right?
I don't know. I really want to see it though.
Yeah.
That guy shows up to everywhere he's invited.
Bob Odenkirk, I would also say could have kind of been that guy too, because he had done a lot of stuff as a writer, Done
a lot of stuff as a writer, and was great on Mr. Show. But from my understanding, I think it was an interview with oh shoot, I forget who, but he was basically saying like prior to him accepting the role on Breaking Bad, his manager was like, "Hey, you might want to consider filing for bankruptcy." Like, nothing crazy or anything, but you just something to consider.
That's crazy. Yeah. Now he's doing fine,
Yeah,
he did that
good for him.
movie. He was fighting people.
It's funny. He's doing better than his former comedy partner David Cross these days, which is great.
I think David Cross just put out a new album.
I hate David Cross.
I think he did. Really?
I hate David Cross.
Yeah.
He is a man up his own. He's never talked about my hate? Have I never? He was great in Arrested Development. But have I never talked about my hatred for David Cross?
No, you've never said this.
So, David Cross in the mid 2000s wrote like this big sprawling open letter to Larry the Cable Guy about how he was just the scum of the earth and killing comedy. You think this is what comedy is all about? It's like, dude, like you guys are like doing different, like doing comedy on different levels. Like, not only are you punching down right now, but so anyway, Larry the Cable Guy is actually a really, as far as I can tell, a pretty great guy. He has like a foundation. I think it's for like muscular dystrophy or something.
Huh.
Really good guy, shows up to events, shakes everybody's hand. Solid dude. He'll never be my cup of tea as far as comedy goes.
Sure.
But let me tell you about David Cross. He was in those Alvin and the Chipmunks movies. To this day, talks bad about them. He's like, man, I hated being in those Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, but you know what? It bought me a house in Malibu, and that's all I care about.
Right.
Just like, dude. Wow, you have lost. I don't know what game that you were playing, but you have lost terribly.
Well, I guess now might not be a great time to announce that David Cross will be a guest at Alabama Comic-Con this September.
Hey, look, I'm gonna deck that guy in the snot box if he is one of our guests.
Hey, look, you know who else was in? I think we probably talked about this, but you know who else was in the Chipmunk movies, right?
You had old Mallrats in there.
You talking about the guy who played Dave?
Yeah, he was in there. But no, this was just a cameo. But you know, John Waters had a little cameo in the.
Oh
in the
yeah,
road
yeah. He's on a plane, I think, at one point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And Alvin says, "I've seen pink flamingos."
Yeah.
Man, I can't believe that they
Yeah.
put that line in a kids movie.
Well,
I mean,
kids aren't
kids
rushing
love
out to the video
flamingos.
stores because they don't exist anymore.
Kids do love flamingos.
Yeah.
I also love things that sing.
Yes.
True enough. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you got to adopt some chipmunks and make them sing for a paycheck. All right. It's hard out here. Okay.
Yeah.
Moonbeam, have you thought of one? Because I'm interested in like what you think and what the Humble fam thinks out there as well.
Man, I'll have to think y'all talk about yourself.
We'll drop it in the comments. We'll drop it in the comments. Yeah.
If you want to punch David Cross in the snot box, rate this video 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
5 stars, baby, all the way.
That's true. All right, look, tell you what, I didn't prepare any trivia, but the thing is, I've written like a ton of trivia, like a lot of trivia over my
life. You can just do this off the dome.
I don't know if we've had the talk, but Grant is a no shit sure enough trivia writing author.
Yeah.
Published book guy.
I do have a book out there. Someone actually just brought one to my trivia night last night for me to sign, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Did you write something sweet in it?
No, I just wrote my name on it.
No.
You don't want me writing anything in there because my handwriting's bad enough as it is.
Have a great summer.
Yeah, have a great summer.
Stay cool.
I once
and I drew a pair of sunglasses.
I once sat in a car with somebody on the way to Little Rock, Arkansas, who regaled us with Ghostbusters trivia for like 45 minutes.
Hold on. Here's the thing. I'm not going to say a name, but I know who it was.
Oh, I bet I do too.
I know who it was. It doesn't. I'm going to verify with you after we hit stop on the recording, but
yeah,
I know. I guarantee you, I know who that was.
Yeah,
you know what we can do? We can go 1, 2, 3, go, and say it at the same time.
That's a good idea. Look, we'll do that as soon as we hit stop on the recording. We'll do that. But I do have some. Y'all want to play some TV trivia? We haven't done any like TV stuff here.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Right. Let's do this. I got a few here. I've got in the chamber. What 1970s and 80s sitcom featured a character whose full name was Christmas Snow? I know.
1980s,
70s and 80s. It ran, from the 70s into the 80s.
And this was a regular character?
Oh yeah.
On a sitcom, Christmas Snow.
Yeah.
Man, the only Christmas I know is Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber.
So here's the thing. I mean, I should clarify, like this was the person didn't go by the name Christmas. They went by a shortening of Christmas. Does that make sense?
I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. Three's Company?
It is Three's Company, yes.
Yeah.
Chrissy's full name was Christmas, yeah. Moonbeam was just bewildered.
I don't know how I know how I didn't know that. I don't know crap about Three's Company other than, 3 of that. I know Don Knotts.
Right.
And John Ritter.
Yeah.
And then the other one that was in Step by Step.
Yeah.
Christy Brinkley.
Yeah. Not Christy Brinkley.
Okay.
Suzanne Summers.
Is it Suzanne Summers or?
Yeah. All right. Let's do another one here.
Anyway.
In what decade, just give me the decade, did the last cigarette commercial air on American television?
2000.
Brandon says 2000s. Moonbeam, what'd you say?
1980. I said 80? The 80s.
Y'all get this. It was actually the 70s. 1971 was the last year. Yeah. They got on that early.
Here's the thing. I think I'm just thinking of like all those like anti-smoking commercials. Like they just seem like they were smoking commercials.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking like I didn't see people I guess they were still in print ads because I remember some ads for Virginia Slims because I used to think it was really funny to say, "Hey, look, vagina slimes."
Yeah, that's what a lot of people said. That's what a lot of people called him. You know, they had it coming. Like they should have known. They should have known. All right, what about this? What do the letters HBO stand for?
Home box office.
Oh, that was a tie. I'm gonna give you both of y'all a point on that one. 2-1. Brandon and Moonbeam. Okay. Michelle Williams played what character on Dawson's Creek?
She played the blonde girl that had kind of curly hair, and she's kind of like the fast girl at first.
The fast girl. I like how you described her. Her name was Jen, by the way.
Yeah, nobody remembers her name.
Yeah, Jen Lindley. What's funny, the way you did that, I just did a theme trivia night last night. It was 2000s trivia. And one of the rounds I played audio from a TV commercial, and you had to tell me what the product was from the commercial. And like one of the commercials was Floam. Do y'all remember Floam?
Yeah, it was like a styrofoam balls that
yeah, it was like it wasn't quite GAC, but it wasn't quite styrofoam. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I remember like I played the audio and I'm looking around at the teams and I could tell they were trying to come up with the answer, and I could see people like doing their hands like this, like, you know, it was the stuff that like blah, blah, blah. And I could tell people were describing it, but they couldn't quite come up with the name of it.
Yeah.
That happened at a few of the tables around the whole place. That was really fun. I had fun with that one. But anyway, all right, let's do this. What was the name of Martin's Jack Russell Terrier on Frasier? Yeah, I know. I think it might have been the same Jack Russell that played Milo in The Mask.
Oh, yeah.
No, Rimshot was Ernest.
Rimshot was Ernest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ernest P. Worrell's dog. His name was Eddie, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
I never watched one episode of Frasier.
Let's see. I'm gonna skip this one here. Let's see if this one's a little more current. Closer to current. What was the name of Negan's baseball bat on The Walking Dead? I know.
Man,
it was a lady's name.
I quit that third season.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you tapped out like one or two, like a couple seasons ahead of it. Lucille, by the way. Chandler Riggs coming to Alabama Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I feel like I knew that it was Lucille, but but only because of I've heard it a lot.
Isn't that the name of BB King's guitar?
Yeah, it is. Sure was.
Yeah.
In 1984, what professional wrestler slapped reporter John Stossel during an interview?
Oh, Andy Kaufman.
No.
Yeah. No.
It's not.
Hold on a second. No. Not. Am I wrong?
It wasn't Andy Kaufman.
Is it the other guy?
No, you're thinking of Jerry Lawler, who was feuding.
I'm thinking
with
of Jerry
Kaufman.
Lawler. Yeah.
No, it's not him. It was Dr. D. David Schultz. It's one of y'all can YouTube it. It's great because he does exactly the thing that you should not do when you're talking to a pro wrestler, where he just looks at him and goes, "You know what I think? I think you're a fake," and then he just slaps him in the face. and he's like, "Well, was that fake?"
I feel like I've seen a.
But it wasn't like, "Oh, I think you're a fake."
Thing.
It's like he was getting aggressive with him and like being like in his face, and so he slapped him. Yeah. It's you can watch it on YouTube. It's fantastic. All right, how about this? On Married with Children, what was Al Bundy's profession?
Shoe salesman.
Shoe salesman.
Yes, he was a shoe salesman. Brandon, really quick on the takeout. How about this one? Joseph Allen Maldonado Passage it might actually be different now, but at the time I wrote this, is the legal name of what controversial man who was profiled in a popular Netflix docuseries? Joseph Allen Maldonado Passage. Goes by
Is it the murder one?
I mean, you're gonna have to be more specific with Netflix.
Yeah, like the picture was like a kind of like.
Oh, you're thinking Making a Murderer? No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. That's not it.
Nope.
Sorry.
Nope. Think of something with like some razzmatazz to it. You know, it's got a little flair. It's got a little zazz. Joe Exotic is the name of the guy.
Oh.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Tiger King.
Yeah.
I watched like an episode and a half of that. I'm like, well, I've seen all I need to see.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched the whole thing.
They did a follow-up that was very not exciting.
Yeah, it was a big old pile of nothing.
Well, it hit it right at the exact right time because people were staying inside whenever it hit. So, is what it did. Okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what. We went through all the ones that I had here, but we can pick out a couple extra ones if y'all want.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, on Parks and Recreation, what is the name of Pawnee, Indiana's wealthier twin town?
Oh.
I would Eagleton.
It is Eagleton, yes.
Hey.
Yes, very good. Yeah. Boom, boom. All right, catching up. 3-2. Let's see. I'm trying to find one that, like, it's not a giveaway. Like, because I have one on here that's, like, who created Twin Peaks? We can't exactly.
David Duchovny.
Yeah. David Duchovny, yes, of course. Let's see. Although, Kyle MacLachlan, I would love to work with that guy. That'd be dope.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see.
Mayor of Portland.
Mayor of he is the mayor of Portland. That's right. All right, tell you what, I'll do one more.
All right.
Lister, Cat, Rimmer, and Crichton make up the ship's crew on what UK sci-fi comedy series? I'm surprised. Honestly surprised.
Say it again?
Yeah. Lister, Cat, Rimmer, and Crichton make up the ship's crew on what UK sci-fi comedy series?
Oh, shoot.
Are you envisioning it right now? I think it's coming back
old?
too. Huh?
Is it old?
Oh yeah. It's an older show that's been revived once already, and I think it's coming back again.
Oh. What's it called?
Yeah. What is it called? It's named after the ship. Or, you know.
Yeah, nothing.
Red Dwarf was the name of the show.
Oh, wow. I've never seen Red Dwarf.
Yeah?
Never heard of it.
I feel you've never heard of it? Wow. If I showed it to you, I think you would be like, okay, I feel like I've seen this around somewhere. But I digress. Listen, I want everyone to know, or that I would like to know. How about that? What you think? Who was it that somebody who they made their success early in their career, and then they were like, all right, I'm just going to get weird with it, or I'm going to duck out and just kind of do whatever I feel like doing. I think that would be really fun to hear from the Humble fam out there. I think it'll be fun to hear.
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson. Yeah, he got weird with it later on in his career. He did write a song. He wrote a bunch of songs, I guess. Huh?
Yeah. I actually really like his song, Home is Where You're Happy. It's a very sweet song.
All right. Well, we're admitting to that, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, anyway, I got totally derailed there. But let us know. And then Moonbeam's also going to let us know. We'll follow up with that on next week. So, you got to come back next week to hear Moonbeam's answer to the question. And, maybe, yeah, let us know too, like what other topics you want us to cover. We got some things people suggested that we're going to be working in here real soon that I'm excited about. But either way, y'all, we're going to be back here next week for another visit on The Humble Show. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. But until then, stay humble.